But anyway, this Joker guy, fuck you, dude. Don't do that stuff. Don't be like a copycat wannabe killer. Hey everybody, welcome back to Small Talk Japan. On this show, we talk about all things Japan in English. My name is Mitch, this is my co-host.
Alex, hello.
So today we got to start off the show, of course, with Tokyo. Last weekend was a holiday. It was a holiday. It was Halloween. And despite there being absolutely no corona cases in the country because there are literally zero. Literally. We'll talk about that later. Despite there being strong warnings against gathering for Halloween, the people that gather for Halloween are generally the type of people that don't listen to warnings.
Yeah, that's true.
So your demographics are there's no Venn diagramming of those two demographics: the people that are listening to you and the people that are going. And so yeah, there's a lot of people in Tokyo dressed up for Halloween. So, but that's not what we're talking about today. Right? We want to talk about what happened on the train on the Kato line.
Yes,
I was just on that like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys haven't heard, I think everybody's already heard this. This guy, he decided he wanted to kill some people, and he dressed up like the Joker, and he got on the train, and he stabbed some people, and then he set the train on fire, and then he sat in a different train and waited for the cops to catch him. His desire was to die. He wants to die. So far, I don't think any of the people he stabbed died. There's one guy who's in critical condition.
Yeah, that's right.
Older guy, 75 or something like that, but I'm pretty sure that he was big fail whale on his target there, and lucky for the people who were on the train. But what do you think about that, Alex? I mean, he's actually a copycat of a previous attack that happened like 6 months ago on a train.
Is that right?
Yeah. He was inspired by that.
Well, Japan's generally pretty safe. So when these things happen, it's quite shocking. But there are some kind of crazy crimes that go on in the country. People just snap, whatever.
It's like, so in America we get like violence all the time. So it's like, especially with gun violence, and so like it's almost like a thing that you have to get used to. But the weirdness of the crazy violent crimes in Japan is what really.
Well, it's not like armed robbery or assault or anything like that.
Right.
It's literally just anybody. Yeah. Anybody will do type stuff. So
where was it? Was it Akihabara where they had the guy who like I think he like ran his truck into people, got on, started slashing people or something like that?
That's right. Yeah.
About 10 years ago or something like that.
No, I remember that one. Yeah.
That was shocking to the nation, but whenever you have a crazy person in a crowded area, that's a risk. But the good thing about Japan is because of the very, very strict gun laws here. It is. I think there's crazy people anywhere, really.
Yeah, I think there are. But Japan's a kind of high pressure society, and then some people probably don't get the help they need.
Yeah,
don't get locked up early.
Well, mental health in this country is kind of non-existent, right?
Well, I've actually been to a mental hospital in Japan to visit somebody once. I can't say who it was, but it was a long time ago. Not a relative or anything. Very weird, because I didn't know they were in mental hospital. I just knew they were in hospital.
Oh.
So I went there and I was like, this isn't a normal hospital, because the nurses were mainly male and had handcuffs on their belts.
Wow.
And like truncheon. So I was like, oh, what kind of hospital is this? And it was very strange, very, very weird.
What this person like was it like a self-harm situation, or was it like a?
No, not so much that. Just a different kind of
Just something with
some just issues in life, So
yeah, I actually had to take a close friend to a counselor here, and I got to tell you, it was pretty shocking to watch. I mean, I have no idea how mental health works in the United States, even if it works. I don't even know. But in Japan, I took this person to what I thought was a mental health expert, but it was just like a guy who writes prescriptions.
That's what I've heard this before as well. You just get like a catalog of medicine. Yeah. And it's like, which one do you want?
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, where's the consultation?
So the guy was like, he didn't even look up at my friend, just like looking down at the papers, filling out everything. It's like, okay, well, I think that you have blah, 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 and I think you should take this medicine or this medicine, you choose. And I was like, I actually don't think that my friend has that disease. I think it's this one, and it's a different medication, don't you think? And he finally looked up because he's like, this Gaiji's talking to him, right?
Right.
And he finally looked up at us and he's just like, "Who are you?" And I was just like, "Well, I'm here for support, and what is this? What are you doing?" And then anyway, so he started talking to my friend a little bit more and realized that what I had said was actually the right diagnosis. So I diagnosed my friend's guy. So that's what I did. I'm now a
qualified medical professional.
Yes. So yeah. So but is your friend okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Handcuffs. That sounds scary.
No, it's very weird. Very strange.
Was everything white? Was it like you see in the movies?
It wasn't white. It was like tatami rooms, which is bizarre. And some people kind of stood up in them, like screaming their heads off. And then
Really?
some more normal people sat down watching TV. Yeah, very odd.
I once did some like business like thing with a company that hires like handicapped people. And some of them are mentally handicapped, and it was kind of like that when I walked into the floor of this factory room. It's like everybody, like there's some that are really normal, like just a little handicapped, and then there's some people just like completely like you would say mental,
right?
And it's just like wow, but they did the job, and like they seem to be healthy and happy. So
yeah.
But anyway, this Joker guy, fuck you, dude. Don't do that stuff. Don't be like a copycat wannabe killer.
Yeah, if you just go and speak to someone.
I don't like how they show their face on TV. It gives them fame, you know?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, again, though, it's like exposing it to the world. Their family's going to get a load of crap as well.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily their family's fault.
No, and there was this documentary on the Columbine shooters' moms. And they're just like, they're talking to the camera, and there's just I think they're activists now against gun violence, but man, it takes a toll on your family. It really does. To do that.
I wonder why he was dressed as the Joker. There seems to be a lot of this. Do you think the movie The Joker had any influence on?
When I watched the movie The Joker, I left feeling disturbed.
It was quite a disturbing movie, wasn't it?
Like I just left, and I just remember thinking like, that needs time to process. Like it was just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think people are influenced directly by, movies and video games and things like that.
So are we going to see like Squid Game inspired
people's
violence
gonna be
in the future?
Possible.
You guys at home, Squid Games is not new. It's like it was the concept was around a long time in Japanese anime and manga and in movies. Like there's this movie called Battle Royale. That is almost exactly the same plot. Like Josh is saying no, but it's the same plot device.
No, it's the director of Squid Game or whatever, the writer, said he watched Battle Royale and was influenced by it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Wow.
Or I just made it up. I don't know. Who knows?
Just say it in a British accent, people believe you.
Yeah.
Let's move on to politics. So Kishida's course correction from Abe Suga era. So we had an election.
Yes.
Oh, can we talk about COVID cases for a second? Okay, so COVID cases are down to 2 in Tokyo as of yesterday or something, one of these days, okay, whenever this video goes up. And so it was like 2 cases of corona in Tokyo. I'm like, bull fucking shit.
Yeah.
But this is what happens, right? We've actually discovered a cure for the coronavirus. Everybody like hand it to Japan. They figured it out. What you need is a general election, and it just wipes out the coronavirus.
Right. Okay.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Just hold
change of leadership.
General election. And all of a sudden, Corona just seems to go away.
Yeah, anyway. I was going to make a joke, but I just thought, no, it's too puerile.
It's too puerile. So what happened was we had a general election in Japan, which means that it was very, very noisy. They have their little campaign cars that like... Alex, what is your impression of a campaign car?
Just like an awful racket, basically. And I generally can't understand what they're on about. You can hear the name echoing from the distance, and then by the time they've driven past you have no idea what they've just said.
And on top of that, like the slogans and stuff that they print on the cars, like one of them said like 49.
Like he's only 49.
I was like, what? Why is it? It's just like written in huge lettering on the side of the car. I'm just like, I don't get why that's a campaign.
Yeah, just because he might look young and he's supposed to be more experienced.
I guess. I don't know.
But I met quite a lot of politicians doing like Tsuji Seppo, sitting at the crossroads or whatever. Yeah.
Or they sit at the tram stops.
Yeah.
And they shake everybody's hands as they're getting off, and most Japanese people are just trying to avoid that.
Yeah, I know. You're just trying to avoid eye contact. But he's going to me, yoroshiku onegaishimasu, and I was like, I don't have the right to vote. If you sort that out, maybe I can help you. Yeah.
But anyway, all jokes aside, they have elected a new lower house, and they so I was watching this video from the BBC that went up on their TikTok, I think, the other day, and they were talking about how Japanese keep voting in the same party, even though they're completely not that popular.
Yeah.
And they've been in power for like 40 years. And the reason why that this party keeps remaining in power is because they keep spreading money to the countrysides.
Right.
Doing like useless projects in the countrysides. So the people in the countryside who have the time and, the time to vote, and they're all usually older people.
Yeah.
Because older people vote, man. And that's why all the services and campaign promises and all that stuff are usually like focused on older people. But apparently with this last election, they're like, there was something in this article that was super funny. It's like, oh, we're gonna learn how to listen to what the people want. It's like, isn't that what you're supposed to fucking do?
Learn how to do that now.
And they're like, this last one here, it's like that style was adopted by Suga's. Wait. Now voters want a government that explains.
Right. Yeah.
As opposed to what, right?
One that doesn't. Mind you, Suga was always quite dismissive of the press. Like, he'd be like, I'm not speaking to you anymore.
Well, because he knew that he was temporary.
Well, true, yeah.
He was like, how when a girl breaks up with a hot guy and she gets with like a kind of bad looking guy and you're like, but he's been trying so hard. And so she just gets with him for a little bit.
Who's this about?
But you're like, that guy's probably just the rebound relationship and she's probably going to break up with him and go with another hot guy.
But unless he's really nice, and then they just end up going.
Then they think you're gay, and then they give up. But anyway, that guy was Suga, okay? He was like the in-between boyfriend, and he knew it from the beginning.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to put my picture in Wikipedia on the list of Japanese prime ministers, and done.
Yeah. Well, he did kind of quit himself as well, didn't he? Like halfway through. He's just like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I've had enough. What's it with Japanese leadership anyway? Emperor goes, I don't want to be the emperor anymore. Somebody else can do it.
Yeah, but in his case, I kind of understand because he's had a really long life, and that is a very hard job.
Queen Elizabeth is still banging on, mate.
The BBC practices her funeral every year.
Yeah.
The announcement of her death, they practice it every year.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They've been practicing it apparently for 40 years.
Yeah, they must be really good at it. Looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
There is a collage that you can find on the internet that has all these U.S. presidents sat next to the Queen.
All right.
And it's just, you see, there's like 45 presidents. It's like the whole of America's history the Queen lived through.
She's top dog. She's the boss, man. What can you say?
You know what my favorite thing about your Queen is that her Christmas address. Mm-hmm. And I just love it. Like, I just watch it. I'm like, oh, she's so cute. How do you guys feel? What is your image of the Queen from within England? Like, is she a leader to you? Is she a figurehead?
It's just like a kind of cool lady.
I mean, she's kind of cool. She's got to go. Like, is it true that you're not allowed to make fun of the Queen in the press?
No, it's bullshit. People do it all the time.
Really?
Yeah. And like TV shows, comedy. In Japan, it's very different. You can't take the piss out of the emperor.
Well, no, you don't want to do that because the people that believe in the emperor actually believe that he's like what is it?
I don't think anybody believes he's a god anymore.
What is the word? Divinity. That's the word.
Divine.
Yeah, he's divine.
Yeah, I'm not sure if people believe that nowadays, but it's still, they're very conservative about jokes about them.
Yeah.
Thailand as well. Thailand really, really strict about it. If you can get arrested for making jokes about the monarchy and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we have the crown to enjoy from your country, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
You got a story for us.
Yeah, so basically Japan's easing quarantine rules to 3 days for business travelers coming into Japan.
Gonna give out a shout out to Ricky, who's been sitting in Canada. I've hired him almost a year ago, and he's been sitting in Canada doing work on Zoom.
Really? All this time?
For a whole year.
Jeez.
He's finally going to be able to come here.
So now you can get a short quarantine instead of the 14-day period. You can have a 3-day quarantine.
But it's dependent on something, right? You have to...
Yeah, it's dependent on being... well, it says currently travelers inoculated with approved vaccines are required to undergo a 10-day quarantine upon entering the country, while a 14-day quarantine period applies to other arrivals. But basically, if you tell them the reason for coming to Japan, what you're coming here for, you get proof of your employer or the company that you're visiting. You can get that shortened to 3 days. But you do have to do quite a lot of paperwork, it seems.
Yeah, you have to submit this huge plan to this bureaucratic office, and then if they approve you. But in addition to that, they should be opening up all work visas and business travel from the 8th,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
probably.
But then you also have to report where you went after the 3-day quarantine period.
Yeah.
Up to the 14 days. But nobody's going to do that. No one's going to check.
Yeah, man, there's so many. They had that kind of situation in Australia and New Zealand.
Mm.
Because they had their cases really, really low for the beginning of the pandemic. And some people would just like not obey quarantine and then go out and spread the virus around.
Right.
So, but actually, this isn't in our notes today, but Pfizer, the company that made the first approved vaccine for COVID, has actually just submitted to the FDA. Is that the right one? FDA to get approval for a COVID medicine.
Oh, right. Okay.
So this medicine supposedly like shrinks the what you call it, the possibility of death and hospitalization down to a very, very small number.
Right.
Supposedly.
Mm.
So if that's true, if that means that there's like an actual medicine that gets approved for it, it hasn't been approved obviously, but if it gets approved for it, then that means that I think that everybody's just going to be like, F it, let's go back to normal.
Yeah. No, it's more likely, isn't it, if it's just something to drink or a tablet or whatever.
Right. The problem is that there hasn't been any medicine for it,
Yeah. Mind you, antiviral medicine isn't really, that advanced anyway, is it?
I mean, like, what is it? Tamiflu. Tamiflu, like, if you actually look at the data on Tamiflu, it's like not very effective.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
It's like maybe Josh can look it up. It's something like 30 or 40% effective. And the flu vaccine is I just got my flu vaccine today, by the way.
All right.
So if you guys, because COVID is still going around, so if you do get a chance to get your flu vaccine, do get it. I'm totally pro vaccine. I'm not Rogan. I'm not stupid. So the flu vaccine is only like 50 or 40. It depends on which strains are active that year.
Well, that's the problem. It's always a guess as to which one's going to be around, right?
And they have to guess it the year before, too, so they can produce it.
So I never bother with the flu vaccine because it's just so much of a lottery. There's not really much point.
But for me, what it is that if it's just 30%, it's still 30% more.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get taken out of work for, 5 days or something.
Yeah.
Because
makes sense.
If you get diagnosed with it, the doctor will order you home for, a week, and I don't want to do that. So, right.
Yeah. All right, last story today. 2 arrested for suspected abuse of 450 dogs in central Japan. So 2 men have been arrested on suspicion of abusing around 450 dogs that were found in poor conditions at a kennel in the central Japan city of Matsumoto, police have said. So there's 2 people, 160 and 148, who are employees of a construction firm, and they were basically just, abusing these dogs.
Were they breeding them?
Yeah, it doesn't say, but I imagine they were, because you wouldn't have 450 dogs otherwise, would you? I suppose selling them to pet shops and things like that. But not picking up the feces, and there was, hurt, sick animals left in squalid conditions, with 58 exhibiting symptoms of blindness. So pretty nasty.
So it was Jeremy Clarkson's farm, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah, with the sheep.
With the sheep.
The horrible sheep.
You guys haven't watched this on Amazon Prime.
It's on Prime, yeah.
Make sure you guys watch Jeremy Clarkson's Farm. It's some of the best TV that's been produced during the pandemic.
They're filming a second series right now.
They won't let him open like a giant restaurant on his property.
Is that right?
He wanted to do that, but they told him no.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. I'm pretty sure that town hates him.
Well, it's complicated politics, isn't it, in British countryside?
Going back to this dog story, there was a story in the news a couple years back of this breeder in Tokyo or something, and I just remember the helicopter shot of the top of this giant tall building with all these dogs running around on the roof.
Yeah.
And they had all the news helicopters out there checking out this one roof.
On the roof?
The dogs were just being held on the roof.
I mean, I'm from England, right? A dog-loving country. So this kind of thing really gets on my nerves. And, I've got a dog as well. But
you do have a dog.
Yeah, I've got a poodle. Yeah.
She, right?
He. Oscar. Yeah.
Oscar, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, 16 years old now.
Wow. That's
old man.
Yeah.
But, these people should be hung and shot and then fucking kicked to death.
There's I'm often on Reddit, but Reddit is we call it the hive mind, right? Everybody's just kind of on the same, wavelength. But they post all this violent crap, on public freak out and all that other shit, but they won't anything violence against animals. It's they'll find your address
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
hunt you down.
You deserve it as well. They can't defend themselves, can they? They've been what's it called? Bred by us to be what's it called? I don't know. I've forgotten. I just can't even speak. I'm quite tired, as you might imagine.
I thought you loved cats as well.
No, I hate cats because they're evil animals. So I hope nobody abuses them.
Okay.
But, I don't want them anywhere near me.
Well, cats have evolved to mimic the cry of a baby.
Is that right?
That's why women love cats.
Makes sense.
And that's why women who are lonely, who don't have a family, buy cats.
Right, I see. But why do they buy so many? I don't understand.
That's just I don't know.
Why would you need more than one?
Well, I can't really say anything because I do keep buying kitchen appliances. I have no idea why. I just bought an air fryer the other day.
Is it any good?
I haven't used it yet. I've been too busy, but
Yeah.
everybody tells me it's awesome, so I bought one.
I've seen an air press for coffee as well.
Oh.
But I've just thought, I can't be bothered with that. I don't care.
Espresso machine was a good buy, right?
There's no X in espresso.
I know it's espresso.
It was a good buy, right?
The espresso
Yes.
machine.
Okay, it was good.
It was a good buy.
I bought one. Amazon sent me two. I told them that they made a mistake, and they said keep it. I was like, thanks.
Thanks, Jeff.
No, actually, they didn't say keep it. They said you can spend your own money to send it back. You can throw it away, or you can keep it.
Right.
They
Okay.
literally gave me these options.
Is this Amazon support in Japan? Or
Yes,
what? Really?
It came in Japanese.
No way.
I was just like, I think I'll keep it, and then I gave it to my staff as a Christmas present. And
Nice
then-
one.
and
Don't
then-
say that.
No, I told them. I was like, this is from Amazon, everybody. And then Josh ended up with it because they didn't realize that that takes 1,500 watts,
Right.
and so they put it on the same line as a heater, and yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's here. So and there's a UPS on the system here because we have an espresso machine that makes the power go off.
Espresso machine.
Espresso. How are you actually supposed to say it? Espresso.
Espresso.
I'm saying it right then, right?
You know what you're saying? Espresso.
Espresso.
That's right. That's better. So I forgive you now for making the espresso mistake.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There is something, guys, that I really, really want to talk about today, but it's still secret, so we can't talk about it. But I'm really excited about something that Alex was making fun of me about.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Something I really want to talk about. We'll talk about it on a future show, but let's just say that I went exploring with somebody
Mm-hmm.
who's really good with lenses.
Right.
Maybe lives in Tokyo.
Okay.
We'll just have to leave it there. All right, guys, it's been today's show. If you guys have any questions or comments for us, if you want to have us talk about anything, we have to get on that topic of LGBTQ stuff in Japan. That was a comment a couple shows ago. We'll do that maybe next time.
Yes.
We'll do that with Natsuki.
No, I don't. What? I'm not. You're acting like I'm some kind of weirdo. Or something.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.